Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. My name's Chelsea. You know that. I know that. I'm just a lady with a camera, a bulldog. No, a bulldog, a camera, and too many opinions. And today we have a lot to catch up on regarding Elizabeth Teckenbrock. Y'all know that Sherilyn Dale and I have produced the Elizabeth podcast. Now, season 2 of Elizabeth is coming out hopefully by the end of this month. We're hoping for a Halloween release of season 2, and that is an audio only podcast. You can get that wherever you get your podcasts. I personally prefer to listen on Spotify. Seems per analytics that most people listen through Spotify as well. But that is highlighting the many scams, history of just insidious behavior by Elizabeth Teckenbrock, the serial con artist who lives in the Tampa Bay area, as do I, as you know. And season 1 was really going over like her ex-husband's story and then talking to like multiple of her friends in this area as well. And I hate to even say it, but season 1 was really surface level. And realistically, if you are someone who, you know, does know a lot about this topic and you are maybe a little bit chronically online, then hey, you probably did know, you know, a good amount of the information that was shared in the first season of the podcast. However, season 2 is interviews and information and all that from people who and victims who have never come forward and who aren't on the internet at all, who have basically no digital footprint. And so I think that is, you know, all brand new information to y'all. It goes much, much deeper. We go way back in the past and are able to show that this pattern of behavior happened way before her ex-husband. And then even more so recently, as of, let's see, I'm filming this on October 16th and the bulk of this video was October 15th yesterday. But girl, as of even like September, she was still scamming people and lying and just being an overall menace to anyone she comes in contact with. So a lot has happened since we even released season 1. And so, like I said, you're going to be caught up a lot in season 2, but there's a good bit of information that, you know, we kind of feel like is a distraction, a deflection by Elizabeth. And so we're not necessarily going to include, you know, that and things on the fringes that are happening and more so like the internet drama side of it on the podcast, because like these are serious issues and we don't want to downplay and deflect from that. However, on this channel, we operate a little bit differently. So I am going to go over her latest antics with you and what she was saying in her videos on TikTok last week. It is Thursday, like I said, the 16th of October, and she has not posted since the 10th, I believe. It's been pretty insane. Now, this whole cycle and everything that she does, a lot of people just don't believe it because it truly is unbelievable, the things that she does. And most people really just can't even make sense of her thought process or just the audacity of her in general. So I've been thinking a lot, how can she recover from this? How can she come back from this? Like, how can she make it right? And obviously like prison. But I thought, you know what? Let's get into the mind of a scammer. Now, obviously an active scammer isn't going to really want to talk to me, as Liz has threatened to block me and tells me I shouldn't talk to her. But what about a reformed scammer? So in today's video, we had the pleasure of having Calloway in the studio, and we were able to get her reaction and insight and all that as someone who is just learning about Elizabeth Teckenbrock and all of her antics, but then also as someone who has been involved in many, many scams and many controversies, but then has really come out on top and made it work for her in a more like branded way, if that makes sense. So let's go ahead and get into this video where we have a reformed scammer reacting to the serial con artist Elizabeth Teckenbrock.
I'm Walmart Elizabeth Teckenbrock. Cheers!
All right.
I'm just so excited.
I know. So we have with us today Calloway, the scammer extraordinaire who has since been reformed. Caroline is someone who you're getting way too excited about me giving a synopsis of you right now. Look at you.
Oh no, I'm just so excited to be here because what you probably won't say, but should lead with, is that I am the biggest fan. Like, I'm here on like a Make-A-Wish program, living out my dream in the videos that I always watch at home. Like, I go to bed listening to your voice. Like, good thing adrenaline is coursing through my body, because like, I'm surprised I don't have a Pavlovian like relaxation response. But this is huge for me. I'm the biggest Chelsea fan, and I've always wanted to be in one of her videos. So I'm just so happy to be here.
Yay. Well, if you are not chronically online, you might, which you are if you are here, but you might not know who Caroline is.
Calloway, by the way.
I said
Calloway. It's okay. It's okay. It's people call me Carolyn. Like
this is Coraline. Now, she is someone who took the brand of scammer and really ran with it. And I have really wanted to talk to other people who, I don't want to say are scammers, but who have been in this type of like controversy before, and how you can come out of it, I think is really something that we should look at.
Okay. I've been on the internet for a little over 10 years. I was one of the very first influencers and sort of pioneered those long form diaristic captions, presented my life as a fairy tale. Behind the scenes, addicted to Adderall. To this day, just Google Caroline Calloway 2015, Caroline Calloway 2016. It's like this princess fairy tale, best girl ever, is living the best life because she's the best. Publishers were going crazy for it. We write the book proposal, we sell it, and that's when I'm like, I tried to be a party girl and write a book. It didn't work. Thank God you own industry standard is 20%. Yeah. I get $100,000 up front. Spend it in the next 48 hours. So now I'm immediately in debt to my publisher. Next scandal happens before this scandal gets resolved. I plan these creativity workshops because I have a debt of $100,000. Years have passed. I've got off of Adderall. I returned to the internet. Have these creativity workshops.
In New York.
Do not plan them well. They're actually all over. But like I've also never planned anything well. Like the brand was chaos. I planned them on my Instagram story. A very compelling tweet goes viral. Taking screenshots that I absolutely did post and comparing it to the event, but leaving out all the other stories I posted about how the event was changing every day. You know, like at one point I was like, we can all have fresh orchids. And then I like Googled how much orchids were. And it was like, and no one can have orchids. You know, like obviously I was offering refunds along the way if you heard anything you didn't like. But it goes viral because these workshops debut exact same week that both Hulu and Netflix dropped their Fire Festival documentaries. And the soundbite or the headline, this influencer is a one-woman fire festival, goes viral. That doesn't really get resolved either. So now we have 2 strikes. Total scam. I mean, I've steered the boat of my brand through some pretty choppy waters. And that was the moment that my ex-best friend, Natalie, pitched a story to New York Magazine being like, oh, let me tell you about how much of a scammer this girl is. She then sells this story for like $5,000, where without actually committing anything libelous, positions herself as like the mastermind behind my brand and sort of takes credit for all of my work. And so now I have these 3 scandals unresolved happening at once. And I've sort of spent the second half of my 20s and early 30s cleaning up those messes. I sold nudes on OnlyFans, topless photos. I studied art history, so if anything, my Cambridge degree just desensitized me to titties. I was like, breasts, no big deal.
Beautiful.
Art.
Curves.
Exactly.
Love it.
Sold topless photos on OnlyFans, paid that $100,000 back. And then the last thing, I published my first book, and I timed it so that it came out exactly when hers did, because I was pissed as hell. And
what was the title of that book?
It was called Scammer. But I published this book. It got rave reviews. It was a commercial hit. The Washington Post called it a masterpiece.
Love it.
The New Yorker, and I quote, said, Scammer is funny, engaging, and full of genuine insight, and that is what I would like on my tombstone. So those are my various scandals. And also, I just take forever to ship your book. Like, you order a book, you're getting that book in 6 months. I love being the Jeff Bezos of my brand, like being the face, spending the money. I do not like being my own Amazon warehouse worker. And let me tell you, I'm not good at it.
No,
I would fire me if I could, as soon as we can afford to get more help.
But as long as you are setting those expectations.
Yeah, that's...
Yeah. And also, so there are 2 more scandals that she did leave out.
Oh, when I claimed that I fucked Luigi Mangione?
No, I didn't even know about that. I had no idea. Also, who wouldn't want to? He's a national treasure.
By the way. I was literally just trolling my friends. And I just cracking myself up. Just being an agent of chaos on the small scale of my own life.
But like, who does that hurt? Nobody.
And you know what? I sometimes feel like, hopefully the greatest gift I'll give the world besides making this commentary video with you. I hope it's a masterpiece. Like, I hope it's a CC Suarez classic. But I do hope that my greatest contribution will be my writing. Maybe second place will be the chaos I've caused online. Like, I think it's good for the culture, honestly, for me to stir the pot. So
the branding, I do.
What are your two scandals?
Your branding. Of? So when you were selling oil out of your kitchen, and it was called snake oil. And you gave it to me and Sloan because it was before I even had a kids. Good God, it was like 3 years ago. That's a long time. Sloan Hooks, he's on YouTube. Y'all know.
We love Sloan. Sloan's amazing.
He was staying in St. Pete. He's doing his little Florida tour, his little Florida gay tour.
Sloan, come back. We miss you. Where are you?
Girl, he ain't ever coming back.
Can I have some more rosé?
Yeah, it's actually Prosecco.
Oh, amazing.
But he...
Look at these cute glasses she gave me.
Me getting manic and painting something. And we were hanging out a bunch because we, had talked before and, just been internet friends. I was like, hey, I need to go down to Sarasota to meet someone. And I don't want to get murdered. And my husband's not going to come because he has a real job. So I need you to come. And he was like, okay.
I'm like, what do you mean real job? Yeah. You're at work. Yeah. We're literally in the office.
I am at work.
We're slaves to the office.
I am a slave to the office, but not because I get paid, and that's not what slavery is, dummies. I have a video coming up of calling people out for literally working and getting paid for your work, slavery. So look out for that. But I
was ready to back you up. So quick.
No matter what. But yeah, so we saw in your kitchen, you had your lemon oil and you had the little vials, and you were like, here, I can't find any tops to them. So let me tape it and you take it home. And I was like, I don't know what's happening. And the branding was really cute because it was it wasn't hand drawn, but it looked so the original one was, but then you made the stickers from that. And that was cute. However, you can't sell things like that someone's going to put on their body without correct regulation. And
I disagree.
Okay.
I totally disagree. I feel like I was bringing cottagecore, chaotic, farmer's market vibes to your social media feed.
So if you have the correct labeling on each individual thing that says that it's not regulated in any way.
Oh, surely people think the default is that it wouldn't be. Surely no one would think they would.
You would think.
The reason I only did that was because after...
It smelled so good.
Even though, incredibly, that was the short version. And something I left out is when that ex-friend from my past stabbed me in the back by taking credit for my life's work at that point. 2 days later, my father's rotting body was found.
Yeah.
Within those 48 hours, everyone's tweeting about this. There's news stories. It was the single worst thing that's ever happened to me. The twin disasters of those.
But I needed to make money because as much as people like to think that I'm the heiress to the Calloway Golf Club fortune, that's spelled differently. No, I'm not. I'm not. I am.
Yeah.
I am.
That is Calloway, not Calloway.
Yeah.
See, there we go. I'm with you.
So I had to find ways to make money, and I wanted to do it in a way that was fun for my audience and creative. So I sold snake oil, and then I also did, instead of tarot card readings, Caroline, I did tarot card readings because fortune tellers are known for being scammers. Although I will say I've had multiple instances. People write me all the time to say that they're freakishly accurate, but I will say it's by accident.
The one you sent me one with the book, and
that's so
it
nice
was
of me.
Oh, I'm glad you remember.
I'm sorry. To make it,
my life's a blur too. You're fine.
I don't remember the good parts, but I also don't remember taping a bottle of uncovered oil to give to you. So I think I just black it all out.
I get that. Yeah, so there was that one, and with the branding and everything, I think that one plays into the messiness and disorganizedness, but then also that goes into the branding, and it's listen, you're going to get something from Caroline. What do you think it's going to be? No offense to that. But then also another one was the destroyed apartment landlord thing. So you lived in New York, you had your cute little apartment, and
I'm doing the math if I want to air out this random dime square clout chaser poet right now, and I just don't even think I want that smoke in my life.
No, so we don't
need to name names.
No, surface level. So how much was it?
So it was $40,000 that I owed my landlord. But what had happened was I had the OnlyFans. I did that during the pandemic. I go back to New York with that money, and I start paying rent at first because we all have to pay rent.
Elizabeth Teckenbrock doesn't.
Well, I also didn't for a period. But I will say, before you just stay with me, keep in mind this resolves with me paying my landlord back plus interest with the publication of my first book.
Okay.
I make a lot of messes, but I think something, and I want to totally own those messes. And I do understand it's more messes than your average person. And that puts me as an outlier for messiness. Don't think I get enough credit for being an outlier in cleaning up messes. Like, I make large scale, extravagant messes, and there's not a single one that I haven't cleaned up fully. You know?
And that's wonderful.
Like, I sold a book I didn't want to write. I paid back that $100,000. This girl took credit for my work. I published a book that got great reviews and proved everyone wrong. I didn't pay rent in New York for about a year. Because what happened was I thought I had all this OnlyFans money, and I thought I could stop making snake oil and stop doing tarot cards.
And then taxes.
Oh my God. I think I made so little money that year that I didn't even have to pay taxes.
Love that.
Because I was literally so broke. Like, I wasn't paying rent. I was like, you know, skipping breakfast and lunch and then having like, I don't know, a Hinge date buy me dinner. Like, it was like, times were tough. Like, I was really scraping by in this Dime Square era. But I loved my apartment. And so even though 1 month turned into 2 months and suddenly 2 months turned into 8 months and I still hadn't paid rent, that adds up. It's about $3,000 a month. And I was also sort of grappling with, I still hadn't published my first book yet. I'm sort of just now getting back the ability to write and like returning to a sense of normalcy and healing. But because my reputation was still in the gutter as like a laughing stock, can't write, someone else did all her captions sort of figure, that like readers would actually feel bad about themselves for liking my book. If a reviewer wanted to say something nice about it, they would have to put themselves and their professional reputation on the line just to enjoy my writing. And that was a state of affairs that had to be remedied immediately. Yeah. And I just got so very lucky that in 2021, right after the pandemic, so basically in New York, like the cool kids before the pandemic were like Brooklyn Democrats. And then COVID hit, the New York Democrats all stayed in and they didn't go out. And so basically the only people who filled this nightlife vacuum were like either kids young enough who just wanted clout, who like didn't care about other people's health or their own health, or people who were genuine Catholic, staunch, right-wing Republican conspiracy theorists. And I did have to debase my own like sort of Brooklyn Democrat morals by hanging out with them and going on their podcast. And so like, I'm by no means am better than them. Like I absolutely.
That's not a scandal. COVID was an
listen, I have regrets. If you can't tell by that long pause, like I still wonder if I did the right thing morally, but professionally, I would do it 100 times again, moving back to New York. By positioning myself in Dime Square at that exact moment, I was able to align myself with this cultural lunar eclipse, because what are the fucking chances that the epitome of cool in downtown New York City, right after I got canceled, was a laughingstock, would be canceled laughingstocks. Like suddenly that became the thing to be. And I inserted myself in the right parties, the right places, at the right time, and was able to like rebrand, but I didn't have an income. I wasn't writing. I didn't have snake oil. If I'd gone to a bank and said, listen, really want to realign my brand as like a downtown anti-hero so I can become an it girl so that my book will do well, no bank, even like a private investor, wouldn't have agreed that that was like a sound business plan, but I knew it to be true. And so I just found the money by not paying rent. And that was how I was able to stay afloat. But I wanted to keep my apartment when I left because I'd lived there for 11 years. I'd grown up in that place. It was like my real home. I found this poet who was a sex worker and a friend of a friend. And I had been a sex worker, so I really wanted to give her a chance. She was having a tough find. Basically, no one would rent to her. And so I was like, I'm running low on money too. Like, I can barely get my shit to Florida, let alone like clean up the apartment so that I can have like a normal subletter.
So you sublet it to her.
So I was like, perfect situation, but like, you're going to be in charge of cleaning it up. Like, I'm going to get out of here and like, you will save me the money of like having to get a professional cleaner because I knew I wanted to throw parties like my last week there. Then instead what she did, I mean, to be fair, I never said don't take photos of the messy apartment I leave you and put them online so that you go viral and get more followers and get more clout. But that's exactly what she did. And she just like, I just found it so disrespectful because like the whole premise of her tenancy
was like, you're not judging me, I'm not judging you.
It's not the lack of judgment. It's that like, I will leave you a messy apartment. I'm going to party until my final days. I'm going to have like I lived in a studio. So like, even though I wish I could have thrown one big rager, but my apartment could only hold like 40, 50 people. Hacks. 40 people would be pushing it. And so I was like, I'm going to throw a week of parties. maybe even 10 days, so I can see all my different friend groups and say goodbye to this chapter of my life. And yeah, and you'll inherit an empty apartment, but like it'll be messy and you need to pay for cleaners and you got to pay rent on time. And I was thinking that she could be paying rent. And the reason they didn't come after me was because it was 2021 at this point, early 2022. My little $2,700 a month studio, the least of their worries. In like, there were penthouses that were like months behind on rent. And so Beach Lane Management like just wasn't after me.
So they didn't come after you.
They weren't after me at all. And on top of that, I'd been there 11 years. I had like the best relationship with my building manager and my super. And so then she posted all this stuff, which of course went viral because she made it seem like, can you believe this bitch lives like this sort of energy with the posts? And and she was totally correct that it got a ton of eyeballs. Landlords saw the news. Obviously forwarded it to her, and then they evicted her immediately. And I go back and forth. Sometimes I think, well, it's not like you didn't tell her not to post photos of the apartment. Then I sort of smack myself across the face. I'm like, who would do that? Who goes into someone's home and like posts photos of the home that you're renting, trying to make the person look bad? I sort of go back and forth. Basically, I just really wish I still had that apartment.
I know.
So I feel like
you're protective over it because that was so ingrained into your personality for so long, and like who you are.
It.
So I've always said that with you, it's the branding of it all. You've made it right with multiple people, and I never want to be like, oh well, you know, what do you expect? You know, you supported a scammer, but with you, it's different because it's like that is the branding. You know.
I would say it's two-pronged. It's one, this is the branding up front. And number two, there's not a single person who hasn't eventually gotten what they ordered from me. My original book, I started advertising Scammer the book 3-4 years before those books arrived. Even like my most recent book, like it's taken like 6 months for people to get it. And this is an improvement. And this is like, and that 6 months is growth. So it's like, one, people do know I'm a mess going into it. I mean, like the book is called Scammer. My God. But then on top of that, I always do deliver. And I really like that about myself. Any mess I create, I do clean up.
Well, and I think you do have empathy. You have probably too much at times. And I know we've talked about that before off camera, but then also your intentions. And so I think it's going to be wild to have you, and she has listened to the first season of Elizabeth. And so we are going to. Incredible. Yeah. So
5 out of 5 Yelp stars. Would recommend to a friend. Go there on Spotify immediately and lock the in,
because season 2 will hopefully be released on Halloween. Hopefully. I asked Sherilyn the other day, I was like, what do you need from me for this to happen? And she's like, I mean, if you get this and this, then yes. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying my best. Now that was a super smooth transition. I have not seen you in so long. It's Uncle Reggie. I don't know if you could tell because my mullet's growing out. There's something else you probably don't know either, and that is that the internet is trying to get inside your brain and tell you what to think, and that's not okay. But more than half of Americans are getting their information, their news, from the social medias. According to that Reuters Institute, people no longer trust institutions, they trust personalities. Well, I'm a personality, and I trust ground news. But listen, I get it. The institutions have failed us in so many ways. But instead of just wanting them to do better, what do? Turn to that Joe Rogan fella? Just look at these headlines. His 2024 interview with Donald Trump was literally credited for winning him that their election. People have no idea they being influenced when they think they're being informed. Now that's why Ground News is my go-to platform for the news, to be able to compare these stories, the headlines, the truth, the biases, the fact check. And why I love that Chelsea put them on their channel. She got me set up with that Vantage plan. And let me tell you one more thing. I just, nothing.
Get back under the desk.
Okay, I'm sorry. Think about what I said. Think about it. I'm so sorry, guys. He told you about Ground News? Okay, I guess I'll at least just keep telling you about it. I don't know. So Ground News has obviously helped me with that guy, clearly, but I definitely do love knowing where information that I'm reading is coming from. I always say consider the source, and obviously I do mean that, not literally sometimes. I do be hyperbolic. But obviously, I mean that literally too. If you don't know where your information is coming from and just believe it willy-nilly and not understand biases and things like that and who's profiting and benefiting from you believing certain information, you're just going to end up looking silly. And I don't want that for you. I want you to be educated and know all sides of everything, okay? Even if you don't agree with it. Ground News was founded by a female former NASA engineer who saw a much bigger problem here on Earth instead of focusing on, you know, whatever is going on in space or aliens or something like that. And so the only app out out there helping you think for yourself and see all sides, gathering articles from thousands of sources around the world, organizing them by story, and then analyzing the political lean, credibility, and even those financial incentives, like I just mentioned, behind each perspective. Y'all know I love when you think critically and logically and all that. You can be silly and goofy too, but when it comes to taking in information, that's obviously more important, okay? Follow your favorite topics, even check out their blind spot feed so you can see, hey, maybe I'm missing a key factor of this topic, of this story. So make sure you go to ground.news/cc or click the link in my description box to sign up for the plan that I use every day and the one that I got Uncle Reggie started with too. And you'll save 40% on their Vantage plan. Like I said, that's the one I use, and that is ground.news/cc. And that knocks down the cost to just $5 a month. Thank you, Ground News, for being a continued sponsor of my channel. Thank you to you guys for continuing to support my sponsors. And now back to the video. So I do need to get her caught up on, and y'all caught up if you are not up to date with what Liz is doing now. So season 1 already came out. Since then, Liz ghosted a bit, but she goes through this very predictable cycle of like, I get called out, then I'm gonna try to defend myself, and then it's not gonna go the way I planned. Then I'm gonna ghost and like get off social media for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. And then I'm gonna come back with like the same sob story. I just want to be a mom. I just want to be left alone, blaming my ex, whatever. And then offline though, she's like going out, scamming more people, telling people like her dad's in the cartel, he's not. And then from there gets called out again, and then ghosts, and then it comes back and is like, I'm gonna release a tell-all, blah, blah, blah. And like, it's part 1, part 2. That's the phase we're in right now, where everyone's like, where's part 3, girl? Where are like the receipts? What are you doing? But she doesn't have that to show, in my opinion. So that's where we are right now in the cycle. But
so she released it in part 1, part 2, and then stopped on part 3.
Yeah, because she has nothing to share. So we're gonna watch a few things. I know it's a lot. I'm so tired.
No. I once released an essay where it's fine. I like stopped writing. I don't think I released a part 3, but I did eventually in the book. I just like.
But did you tell people that you had cancer and that you were on your deathbed and your organs were failing to get $100,000 from them?
No, I didn't.
And by 100,000, I mean add 900,000 to that. So you do math. Good job. She's not just a pretty face, guys. So with that, she then was also called out by these 2 girls that she had spent like 5 days straight with and lied to them about like her dad. She had a trust fund. She couldn't access it though. Like she had cancer previously. She was in a DV situation before. Her brother just died of a drug overdose, like all this stuff.
Wait, this wasn't in the podcast. The girls.
Not yet.
Oh, okay. Got it.
So this has been happening since.
Got it.
So then she was called out by that, and their video went very viral on
TikTok.
Yeah, on TikTok.
Did like all 5 girls make it together?
Just 2 girls. Just 2 girls. Okay. Yeah, just 2. So yeah, just those 2 girls. And yes, they were side by side, and they did like I think they did part 1 and then a part 2, and then they did like one random follow-up one. But then like they were only with her for 4 or 5 days. So it's like, what else could you say, right? So she ghosted a little bit, and then she was like, okay, I'm gonna, pay restitutions. I'm gonna, do this. I'm gonna get a lawyer, blah, blah, blah. But this is in the cycle. Right. So then she flips real quick and is like, everyone else is going down, like, and then starts calling out everyone and like denying things and saying that like everyone else is lying and deflecting and all that. So we're going to go over what she's been saying recently of like her deflection. Keep in mind, over the last 4 or 5 months, or over the last 2 months specifically, I've been doing so many interviews with so many of her victims that no one knows about online, that have never come to the public, that she's stolen $1 million from one, 800,000 from another, 400,000 to 500,000 from another. She catfished one of them. Well, she catfished almost all of them, but she catfished like romantically one of them. She like pretended to be a guy, and like the girl was in a relationship with him for like 8 months. And then there's 2 other 6-figure victims that have surfaced, not come forward, but surfaced, that I'm getting interviews with, that she had scammed over like the last 4 or 3 years. So it's been a lot that's happening in season 2. So like now that I've learned all that, I'm watching all these and I'm like, bitch, you are crazy.
But before we start this video, can I hear more about the trip with the 5 girls? Like, where did they go? What happened?
What 5 girls?
The 5 girls, but then 2 of them like got on TikTok too.
There were no 5 girls.
Oh,
it was just 2 girls. And it's okay. It was for 5 days. She stayed with them. Listen, it's okay. It's confusing. I get it.
Yeah.
So they stayed.
I'm so sorry.
No, you're good.
And just after you told them I can count.
No, you can't. It's
so
okay. You were so close to that, the math redemption.
Yeah.
So it was, she stayed at their apartment for like 5 days, and it was only supposed to be like one night, and they were like, but yeah, and then she's also been evicted
5
like
days.
17 times, but she just recently was evicted from her friend's house, and the friend is like talked to me and she's like, yeah, no, I'm $20,000 in debt. It is, girl, it's wild. It is wild. And the fact that she's just on TikTok and like denying shit and then downplaying it and being like, yeah, I got all my money from old men. And I'm like, I have texts of you telling someone that you are dying and that if they don't send you $10,000, you're going to die because you won't be able to have a surgery. And like, they believe you. Like, they believe that she has terminal cancer. Oh, did I say that? She tells people she has cancer.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that was in season 1. So I was aware of that. Thank you so much.
So we're going to watch this. So this is Liz's part 1. And then we have clips like of her live that she did.
She's unfortunately really pretty.
Oh, she's beautiful. Yeah, she is. But also it's that pretty privilege. And I've said like she is on OnlyFans. Like I told you the other day, like she is on it.
And what is she selling? Is it topless? Is it lewds?
Oh, girl.
It's whole?
No, calm down. So I don't think it's really like anything. So she also got called out because she was posting pictures on her OnlyFans that weren't her. And then she was posting ones that were from like 4 years ago. And it was just like her in lingerie. There was one on there that I was like, that's a good picture, girl. Good job. I like that picture.
Sort of like, even if it was 4 years ago, I was like, oh, on OnlyFans, you can kind of do whatever.
Oh, girl, I have pictures on mine that I'm like, oh my gosh. But there were some that weren't
I've like sent a guy like a nude from like 2 years ago when I look like you know, like
girl,
I'm
listen, we all have that saved folder in our phone that we're like
I'm like who among us can cast the first stone?
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
Like
but I'm not sending someone pictures of someone who isn't me.
Oh no, that's crazy.
No.
That's like
yeah. So from what I have seen on her OnlyFans, it's very much so. And I never engaged with her on OnlyFans. I literally, to be able to try to like debunk if it was actually pictures of her or not, I went on and I did confirm like, okay, all the ones at that moment were all of her. People had previously said that they weren't, but then she like changed it up. Also, though, I do want to make clear a lot of times like the money to be made apparently on OnlyFans is through like pay-per-view type of messaging and DMs and stuff, and people doing like special requests, and you can make a ton of money through that, which is great. And obviously we wouldn't have access to that just looking at it. So that could be the case. However, that takes time, that takes work, that takes effort. I don't think she's going to do that. So I don't even think she's making money from that. However, she is already on OnlyFans. She's got her titties out there, right? And listen, that picture was hot. I'll say it. But she could make
like,
back,
same.
right? Me too. I've got them too. But she could make like, so much money.
This is the best Make-A-Wish day ever for me.
Oh my God. She could make money and pay those people back because she has a big following. So she could be like, I want to make it right. I want to do this. And even using that as like marketing though too.
Yeah. I mean, I think about this so much when we were planning this like adult play date for recording this video and having rosé. Chelsea was like vaguely telling me like the gist of
the
like,
updated stuff,
listen to the podcast, like assigning me my homework, telling me like the general outline. And she vaguely mentioned like a plan of what this girl Elizabeth
could do.
Teckenbrock could do. And it really got me thinking, like everything that has happened in this woman's life up until today, every lie she's told about cancer, you can't go back and undo any of that. All of your plans have to take into consideration, we can't change anything in the past. The past is the past. We're starting from today. How could she possibly move forward? And I just like...
Well, as a reformed scammer and someone who's like built your brand around that.
Yeah,
but there's such a difference though.
Yeah, like that is like, even sometimes when I myself get confused by like seeing my own dumb fucking face in a collage next to like Anna Delvey and like Elizabeth Holmes and like Billy McFarland, I am able to recenter and regroup. I return to the fact that the three of them went to federal prison. Yeah. Like they went to jail.
Exactly, yeah.
Like they've been like, it is just a totally different level. And it sounds like this woman is dealing with like hundreds of thousands, plural, millions. How do you go forward? Because I don't even know if I have the answers.
The first step.
OnlyFans is smart. I mean, I have to do OnlyFans.
Like in terms of paying people back. But the first step with any plan, with anything at all, is to specifically admit what you have done. Because that's the only way that you can actually start to take accountability for it. And if you aren't going to take accountability, and if you aren't going to admit that, that's not accountability, because then you can't be held accountable for those actions if you're not being specific with the actions. And that's what she does here. She's very vague. And then she'll say, I can't be specific. You know, she's like, I can't do that. And it's like, because you'll go to prison? Then go to fucking prison. That's what you have to do.
I would never want to say that the Adderall is what made me sell a book I didn't want to write. So like, let me be very clear. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying, though, is that getting off of Adderall and that healing process was what helped me begin making everything else in my life right. And one of the tenets, even though I never like went to AA, one of the tenets of any sort of like AA informed recovery treatment will tell you is that you have to make an accounting of all your wrongs. Even to properly apologize to someone, you have to like itemize every time that you can possibly think that you wronged them. And this is just a foundational tenet of like any sort of recovery.
Yeah, she's not going to do that.
Okay.
Hi guys, I have always said that there will be a day that comes that the truth is unveiled, and today is that day. The information that I'm choosing to share with you guys today is not only something that makes me feel like I literally want to puke, but is also extremely scary and has become something pretty dangerous for me. But I feel at this point in the situation that's been going on online that it needs to be brought to light no matter how scary it seems, because I can't allow it to keep happening.
Now, what do you think she's about to say?
I'm so locked in. This is the best day of my life.
What do you think she's going to say?
I think she's going to reveal like an intense health issue, you know, like she's gotten the scans back and they're dark spots, or the biopsies back and it's cancerous. It's going to be like an intense health thing where the stakes are lethal. Or I think it will be something that has equally lethal undertones, but it's something social. Like I've been dealing with a stalker this entire time.
Bingo. Okay.
What?
Yeah, good job.
No, you're joking.
Yeah, there's no scans, but no, that was good. So there are people online who were in like a Discord server and they were like sharing stuff back and forth about her and like tracking her and stuff, which it's like, you're a serial con artist and you're online. What do you expect? But there were certain ones who took it a little bit too far and were trying to like make fake driver's licenses so that they could make it to where her Instagram would get like deleted because, you know, the verification.
Because they would pretend to be her. And
Exactly.
delete it.
Yeah.
Got it.
So there's that. And then also like making multiple troll accounts and like trolling her, which I'm like, girl, say it with your whole chest. Like, I need it to be your name on there. Like, if you're going to say something publicly, you need to be able to back it up like with your name and all that. Yeah. So she's about to talk about that. She's got to try to deflect, distract, and downplay everything that she's ever done because people are in group chats talking about her. Now, one of those people did share a naked picture of her in there, and I don't think that's okay. I don't think anything that that person or like that Discord was doing was okay, but she's using that to be like, I'm the victim. And it's like, okay, well, what influencer like doesn't have that happening? Again, as a content creator, it's not okay. It's not right. That's gross. However, I also have text literally right here of her saying that her organs are failing and she's dying and she needs all this money from someone and saying that she like loves them and calling them baby. And it's fucking disgusting.
Okay, important question. At this moment in time, is she still maintaining that the cancer was real?
So she's smart with this aspect because online she started saying that like it was real, but that was like a long time ago. And she was like documenting it. Now all of that's scrubbed from her stuff. But now she says like she's been called out for it so much. What she does is she'll say it like in person to people. She's like, I have terminal cancer, like in person. She's like, but like no one knows, so that like those people don't go and talk about it to other people. But then now when she's being called out about it, she's like, I exaggerated. Like I had like stage 1 cancer. And it's like, girl, so did I. Like I had stage 1 melanoma right here. Like I have a scar. Like you get it cut out. You don't like typically go through chemo. I mean, you might, I don't know, but it's just insane. And she now is like, I exaggerated, I did this, but she doesn't go into those details because the public doesn't know those details. So if the public doesn't know, she's not going to talk about it or ever acknowledge it. She's going to be very vague. It's insane.
God,
I have got to the point that I question my own actions, and this has brought so much strain to my mental health that there is no growing unless I address the situations that are going on online
so pretty.
And behind closed doors. I've always known that there has been a lot of things twisted behind the scenes in terms of things that I have done or haven't done, and I never had documentation of the proof, and now I do. I don't want this video to take away from what I have done as a person, but I do want to make it known and clear that no human being deserves what has been happening to me behind the scenes. The thing and person that I want to address in this video is someone months ago I brought to the attention of the internet that I had been being stalked and harassed by. Her name is Chelsea Bean, and on TikTok she goes,
I know, jump scare.
I am only one of the many big platform creators that she harasses and stalks, But
okay, so here's the thing. So recently on TikTok, there has been multiple different creators who have come out and said that there is like this one person on Reddit who like creates multiple, like they are just super crazy online. Like they are harassing so many fucking people and it's horrific. And like that person even created like her subreddit that was taken down. But the thing is that the person she's talking about right now isn't that person. But because that has been, there's like been a lot of discourse about that online, I think she's trying to make it seem like it is the same person.
Without saying it outright. As a writer, sometimes I look at these people and I think, damn, it's pretty masterful. I don't condone it, but like the writer in me is like, it takes a lot of evilly misplaced intelligence to be able to speak with such surgically precise evasion of the truth. My God.
I think personally that she believes her lies. That's why I think it works so well. Well, it works so well to a point until me and other people. Are you sure
she believes them?
I think she does.
Really? You think in her
certain
quiet
ones, I think she does.
The things that I have the proof of that she has done to me are so disturbing, scary, and sickening that it honestly makes me in fear of my life. And after hearing that she does this, not only to me, the things I was shocked about, but she is also doing them to other creators. I want to bring attention to this, not just for myself, but for other people.
It's interesting too, because it sounds like she's like putting on like a Southern accent. If you just heard that little Southern twang.
Yeah. It sounds like, honestly, like yours.
Oh, Jesus Christ. If y'all want to go watch that video, you can. I'll have a link down below, but it's just too long. So
y'all, if you want to.
Yeah, y'all. So I want to go into this one though now because...
Wait, I was just getting into that. I want to see all of it.
Okay, so
what happens in the end of that one? I love that one.
We'll go over it off camera, but she basically goes over like non-receipts and shows like people in a group chat. And it's like, girl, being in a group chat talking shit about you with other people that you've scammed, like that's not illegal. Like, what are you talking about? It was a lot of deflection, a lot of distraction from what she has done. But now this is a live stream. As you can tell already, it's much less prepared. Like she had like a script for that first one.
This is recent. This is 5 days ago.
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. But piping hot.
But since Friday, she has not posted anything because I think her lawyer was like, hey, shut up.
Rachel should probably stop calling Kelsey. Sorry, babe. We're not answering. I think that people are going to assume that I care, that I'm going to get hate on this live, and I don't care at all. Not even like 1% care. I genuinely do not care.
Part of me admires that.
Just leaving
my sensitive heart could never.
Unfortunately. She's putting out an RO, but I have all the illegal stuff she's been doing to me.
So she's talking about her ex-friend, Rachel Reese, who is the criminal defense attorney who was on the podcast. And she's like, oh, I have all of the illegal stuff that Rachel did to me. Rachel didn't do anything illegal. The person who did like illegal stuff was this other girl that was in that like group chat or whatever. And Rachel was in that group chat, but Rachel didn't do any of that. But Rachel is also a TikToker. Rachel's also a public figure. So Rachel is who she can.
And she calls her RO.
No.
What's RO?
You're beautiful. Restraining order. Because Rachel was like, I'm getting a restraining order. Like, you're ridiculous. You need to stop.
I swear I went to Cambridge. I know a lot about art history, although I can't count, and I'm dumb.
I'm right. I can hardly read, girl. You're there with me.
I have another video that I have to make, but I just haven't been able to figure out how I can do it without sharing everyone's information. So they're hating on me and I don't care. I think that the people that keep sending hate my way have got to, that they don't like get to the point that they register that I'm not someone that cares about it anymore. This stuff, once all this stuff comes out of all of the stuff that all these girls and Andrew have been doing to me behind the scenes, they're going to realize very quickly as to why I actually don't care about the hate that these little comments are doing, because the stuff that's happening off the scene is so disgusting. I'm aware of what I've done wrong. Liz is not their only victim.
And that's not, so again, that comes into, I think that she's trying, and it's just my own opinion, my own hypothesis, is that I think she's trying to make it seem like, again, get those characters confused and those like piping hot TikTok stories like merged and confused when like that's not the same person, it's not the same group. So
that's very smart.
Yeah.
It's working on me, honestly.
Oh
like,
God, no.
No.
She got another one.
I just mean like I can see why this would.
Yeah.
Like, were you not here, I would be so confused on my own.
Yeah, well, exactly. And so think about like the like there are a lot of people, the people who still believe her haven't listened to the podcast. people who still believe her, like, don't have all the information, but she thrives on that. And with TikTok, like, because the algorithm, like, it really thrives on that because you're not going to be served that information. It's wild. It's really crazy.
That's right. I never said anyone is always lying on me. When have I said that, actually? Just because I said one person is lying, those two girls are lying, saying that I stole from them when I didn't, that actually doesn't at all. I haven't said anyone else is lying. When have I said that? They didn't have proof. I'm waiting for the proof. Like, that's the thing. When has anyone posted proof? That's like the crazy thing is, like, everyone is online talking about all this.
I'll post some proof right now. A screenshot of a text that I'm gonna screenshot from my computer that Liz sent someone saying that she was dying, that she had to have surgery or she was dying. We can't show too much. You'll have to wait until season 2.
I'm literally listening to this girl and I'm like, she has such pretty eyes. Bad girl. Like,
bad girl, let me spank you.
I know, I'm like, they're so blue. But yeah. No. She is a bad lady. Don't look at her beautiful eyes.
Yeah, stop trying to make out with her.
Yeah.
See, it's working in real time. This is a great example of this.
During the time that, like, I was using all the money and, like, everything else from, like, the past, like, all these people were enjoying it. That's for sure.
Like, she's so pretty. I'll give her my money. Like,
no, you're not going to give her money. Also, though, so did you hear what she just said? So she said,
no.
All of these, I know you got distracted by her pretty eyes. Okay.
They're so pale.
Okay, listen.
The time that, like, I was using all the money and, like, everything else from, like, the past, like, all these people were enjoying it. That's for sure.
So she's saying that her ex-husband Andrew and Rachel, the one that she is, trying to throw under the bus now, that when she was getting all this money from people that she scammed, she left that part out, convenient. And then when she was spending all of it, they were benefiting from it. She also left out that they didn't know that she got it by telling people that she was dying of cancer and scamming. So, like, that has nothing to do with them. It is crazy.
If you can look back to, like, when I was married, my husband was, like, going on these trips, doing all these things. His stay-at-home single mom was, like, had all this money and, like, paying all the bills and taking him on vacations. And he was never like, oh, where did you get this from? This is crazy. Wow. Like, how can you do this? I won't take an L, babe. Hi.
So she's basically blaming another victim, her ex-husband, because she also scammed him a lot. But she's blaming him for believing her because she told him that she had jobs, that, like, she was working. She said that she was, like, a vice principal of, like, a school of, like, special needs kids. Yeah. And then, like, there was like another job or something, and there was, like, a settlement of some sort or something like that. And so it's like, okay, so you're blaming him and saying that he's in the wrong because he believed you? Like, you scammed him.
This is, like, I'm rarely speechless, but this is actually, like, it boggles the mind.
Yes.
It boggles
crazy.
the mind.
It's crazy. And how she's saying this with such confidence.
I mean, look at those beautiful, beautiful eyes. She clearly believes what she's saying.
I'm gonna have to, like, put something
No,
over
don't
her
worry.
face.
Yeah, no, don't worry. I've already realized the problem, and even though I can't count, I do love to read. So I'm just trying to only look at the captions. Exactly.
Yeah, just look at the captions.
Really helped.
I got it for being a single mom, a $6,000 house, and he believes that. A doctor. Yeah, I said that. Did he believe it? He went to Vegas with me. I paid for everything. A hotel room that cost me like $3,000 a night. I'm not currently, not anymore, because I signed a deal. The one topic that I'm not going to talk, like, I'll talk about all things. I'm not going to talk about McKay on here. That's a promise that I've made her, and I will never do it.
So she said that she isn't going to talk about McKay, and that's her ex-roommate that she allegedly took like $400,000 from, and, like, over the course of time and whatever. And, like, it's just a whole lot of shit happened with them. I think that I don't know. I haven't talked to her, okay? But
I love your voice.
Hey, you be quiet. I think that she's saying that because she's, like, proactively, it's like a promise of her being like, I'm not going to talk about her, so that, like, maybe McKay won't talk about her. I don't know. But I think that's why. It's also weird that people are asking, like, McKay's not a public figure. She literally does not go on social media. Like, she has this social media. She doesn't even have a TikTok with her name on it. So it's weird that they're, like, asking about it.
Has she ever spoken about her, McKay?
Well, like, McKay was in some of her, like, live streams and, like, in stuff because she would be, like, around and they lived together.
Does the public know why?
I mean, not really. They just know that McKay disappeared.
Exactly.
And then also she was saying, like, oh, I signed a deal, which No, you didn't. So she does have a lawyer. I've confirmed that. But the FBI is still, to my knowledge, is still actively investigating her. And but she's saying, oh no, they're not investigating me anymore because I signed a deal. And it's like, well, no, the investigation ends when charges are brought, and charges have not been formally brought against you for multiple counts of fraud. And so that's not how that works. And some people have been like, oh, well, she said that. And it's like, guys, Liz lies about everything. Like, that's rule number one. She lies. Don't believe anything she says, but she'll sprinkle in little tiny truths. It's really fucking weird. I don't know. So she keeps saying that she like signed a deal and that like she's going to pay restitution. And it's like, girl, I don't see you not going to prison. It's insane.
No matter what the comments are, I'm not doing it. I've promised. And that will never happen. So. Oh, you mean the fact that I didn't go around telling people that I got money from old men and I said it came from a trust? Yeah, shoot me.
Pause.
Right?
Pause.
Right?
What?
Insane, right? Insane. Insane.
Okay, wait. So she told people it was coming from a trust.
Yes, and then like from other things, or like my divorce settlement, and you know, like a settlement, a trust, something that she can't access, but then that like she does have access to, which is not true at all. She does not come from money. Her family's, I mean, I don't know what tax bracket they're in. From other people who know them personally, I've heard that they don't have much, which we all come from different walks of life. Who
Totally.
cares? You're alive. Great. Wonderful. Money means nothing, but to this person, it means everything, which is insane. So yeah, so she said, yeah, I got money from old men. Shoot me. Well, first of all, we're not going to incite violence because no, thank you.
I got money from old men, said it came from a trust. Shoot me. There's so much to unpack there.
There's a lot.
So she was trying to present herself as rich.
Yeah, as old money.
I can't tell. I hope it's best case scenario. It's a personality defect with me and not just her pretty pale blue eyes that I keep trying to like relate to, like trying to like see how it could be a mistake or like see the best in her. But like pretending you're old money, like in 2025, I feel like there's no excuse. Maybe if it was like your influencer and you went
She's
viral
been doing
overnight.
This for 10 years.
Yeah, like I'm trying to like figure out a way where you could like cut someone some slack. Like they went viral overnight. They didn't know how to handle the fame, or like, you know, maybe they're really young and they're insecure. Like just like lying about that stuff, like at this point, it's just to actively lie about it in both directions. To like, it's one thing to just say like lie by omission. Like money, even in 2025, is still so sensitive. We still have such a long way to go.
I just paid $5,000 in taxes and I cried.
You best believe I haven't filed my taxes yet, only because they're due today. Like literally, I don't know yet, only because I waited till the last possible moment. Then
oh my God,
like,
yeah, girl, that extension.
You did that extension. I got that extension. You know I got that extension. We're filming on October 15th.
In my head, I'm like, wait, bitch, it's October.
Yeah. No, you know, I don't think I've ever not filed with the extension. But
yeah, same. Most people who are creators or, you know, non-traditional jobs do extensions. But yeah,
it's like one thing to like not say. Like, I can abide by that because you do, like, put yourself in the line of fire. But to actively lie in the other direction to make up a situation where the money's coming from, and just to say it's, like...
And then lie and then omit to downplay it is, right? It's crazy. And not even, like, in the Lord of our, you know, our
the
Savior.
Lord of our year.
In the Lord of our year, Trisha Paytas. That was what I said. In the year of our Lord and Savior, Trisha Paytas. It is her year. I thought last year was, this year is. But
I love Trisha.
She's amazing. But like when you're called out so much, it's just it's so crazy. It's like, there are the facts. It's wild.
The crazy thing is you on the internet think I need to show you proof where I got money from. Delusional.
See, and that's kind of true. I'm just, as a writer, I'm appreciating the isolated true sentences. Like anyone, like, you think I on the internet need to like show you my bank statements? Like, okay, that's true. In the context of faking cancer, actually becomes like so not true.
Yeah. Because it's like, okay, so like if she was just a normal random person, okay.
Yeah.
But then also if she was just a normal influencer, but like if because it's like, okay, well, if I had someone who was like, well, who paid for this, or how much did you make with this? I'm like, that's none of your business. What the fuck?
It's like, I really appreciate the influencers who are like brave enough to be honest, but as someone who like is doing that, I'm like, it's not for the faint of heart, and I kind of hate it, and I wouldn't recommend it for everyone.
But that's not the thing though is that
it's not that at all.
No, that it's like, well, how did you get that? And it's like, okay, well, she's lying about it constantly, but then also saying it's like, okay, so you don't care, or do you want to take accountability and change? Like, which one is it?
Do you think she cares?
I don't think she thinks past tomorrow. And so, no, I don't think she cares. Because if you care, you have to care about your future and like the consequences of your actions and how they affect other people. And she clearly doesn't. She's ruined so many people's lives, driven so many people to like alcoholism and to like other issues, and just decimated people. Like the wake of destruction that she leaves is unimaginable.
Do we think that she has any addiction problems?
She was doing a whole lot of ketamine. And,
really?
It's called, what's it called? Like Shabuzi or something? Or wait, no, that's a black guy. I love him. I don't know what the Tusi. That's what it is. That's what the kids call it. She was doing a good bit of that allegedly in August and September. And so apparently Tusi, for all you employed people out there, is ketamine, cocaine, and Molly all together. And when the person told me that, I was like,
I didn't even know, to be honest. That's
insane.
I love psychedelics like mushrooms and acid, and obviously a good cocktail, but I had to like give up uppers.
I'm
cold turkey.
So
after
scared
Adderall.
even like thinking of someone being on
and
that.
I'm afraid
like,
of ketamine as well, to be honest.
It feels
like getting pool water up your nose, and I feel like maybe saying that, but that is the real me.
Yeah, no, thank you. I have way too many boogers already from the times that I did drugs like 17 years ago. So.
Like, that's crazy. That show me where you get your money from, babe.
A job, ma'am. People are employed, unlike you.
I didn't say that I got it correctly. That's the thing, is that you guys say or think all the time that like just because I'm saying that something else somebody else is doing wrong to me makes the fact like what I did okay, when that's not true. I can't even tell you how many times I have said what I've done is wrong, and I literally hate that.
The thing is, though, is that she never specifically says what she did. It's just like, I've done a lot of bad things. What I've done is wrong, but she doesn't admit to it. She doesn't like acknowledge it. She doesn't get into specifics, which it's like, you need to at least say what you did. Yeah. Girl, it's insane.
Well, I was being investigated. That's true. I said that, but I'm not. I wouldn't be proud if my daughters grew up doing things that I had done. Absolutely not.
She's a sex worker and she's anti-sex work? My God, pick a lane, bitch.
That's not what she's referring to.
Okay.
Get off your soapbox. So she's saying the scamming aspect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So I'm still assuming that she's making her money legitimately.
No,
where I need a baseline assume.
The way she's getting her money is from lying about having cancer or lying about needing money for like court dates to like get her kids back. Which
how many kids does she have again?
4. She has full custody of the oldest one. I say full custody, like I mean like on paper. He doesn't live with her. He lives with her grandma. And then the middle one, the girl, she has joint custody or split custody with the dad, and the daughter mainly lives with the dad because it's like, where is he going to send the daughter to with her? Like she just is moving around all the time, and but he does like.
Where is she currently?
At her grandma's house in like Largo area.
Also, she'd scam me so easily. She'd be like, money, please. And I'd be like, I love you.
Yeah. Be careful. Don't talk to her.
When I first went viral as a scammer, like my best friends, a lot of them were like very sad for me and really helped me process this trauma of the public shaming. A few people, you know who you are. They were like, this is hilarious because you were like the most likely in the friend group to be scammed.
Yeah.
Like hands down.
Mm-hmm. That's you. You sweet little angel.
Hi, before you guys like keep coming at me with all these questions that you have, do you have proof of like the stuff that is currently being said or no? Because I keep asking for these people to drop receipts and no one has. So because you have gotten somebody's word of mouth instead of actual receipts. Andrew shows receipts. I'm not on here debating Andrew's story. I'm on here debating the things that Andrew's done behind the scenes that are not okay. But where are the receipts of the things that people are recently saying I'm doing? Or is this because they want to jump on the bandwagon?
it's interesting because she says like, oh, where are the receipts of like what I'm currently being accused of, which is like lying about like her brother dying and telling these girls that she's like an heiress and blah, blah. And it's like, would you want us to have people like illegally videotape you without your consent? Like there's wiretap laws, girl. Like that's why she does it. That's why she lies more in person with people instead of online, because then she's able to like control the narrative and like it can't be traced back to her to a certain extent. I keep using the example of like she's asking like, well, prove it, show it. And it's like, how can I prove or show something that didn't happen or did happen when it's like it was in person and my sister to show a video, but it's like when Amazon is like, okay, you didn't get your package, prove it. It's not here. It's not in my hands. Like, what do you want? It's so, thanks, girl. It's so, the Jeff Bezos of it all. It's truly wild, and she's just insane.
People don't see a problem that they're with these people and what they've done, and we're about to talk all about it right now.
So this girl who was in like the Discord that like was creating fake driver's licenses and stuff, this is about to be so uncomfortable. Are you ready?
Lots of people are asking. Her name was Pickles on when she was, you know, like using all of those accounts or whatever.
So this girl, her name was Pickles. That was her username on Instagram or TikTok. So her name is Sierra, but she was one of the people who was in that like Discord that was like making the fake like driver's licenses and shit. And then apparently she was going through a hard time at home and like a real hard time and like mental health wise too. And I allegedly was like off her medication. I don't know. And she was asking like other people in like their group chat and their Discord, like for money or for help or something. And then some people felt like uncomfortable, whatever. They had like a falling out. And then from there, she went to Liz and like told her everything and showed her everything. And so, but it's about to get really awkward because it's like, this should have been like a conversation offline for y'all. Like this is uncomfortable. Like I'm all for people like owning what they've done, but like this is weird. I typically like even on TikTok, people have been asking me about it. And I'm like, guys, I don't want to even like, because this is such deflection, but I think it's important to show like the deflection, you know, like most people agree like, no, that's crazy. Y'all shouldn't have done that. That's fucked up. Like the plot clearly got away from these people. No one should have to go through that. Even Liz, I don't care. She shouldn't have, like, that's weird. But then it's like, she's using that, you know, yeah. So it's very uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Buckle up.
Oh my God.
We're going to call her the right thing. So,
I would like to clarify because I have been asked before by other people. I have told you, Liz, many times that I still think you have a long way to go in your healing journey, and I don't think that this means you're perfect.
It's like you to me earlier in this video.
Wanting to grow is hard.
Hopefully I
when
didn't
there are
sound
people
this
doing the things that
coerced
I did and the things that were continuing to happen. And I think that I needed to own that in order to feel that I could move on.
I think that I think a lot of people have a hard time understanding that two things are always true at one time. One being that I have made a lot of mistakes, but also the things that we're going to talk about that have been going on behind the scenes are horrific, and that it's not even possible for someone to grow at all. Like, I mean, it's barely possible for someone to survive or even want to live with the things that are being done that they don't even know about.
Okay, so even right there, she's making it seem like, okay, because of what these people have done to me, which I think she is exaggerating. She's like, so because of that, it's impossible for me to grow and take accountability, is, in my opinion, basically what she just said. And then saying like, it's making it so that like, I don't want to live. And it's like, okay, calm down. Like, let's calm down. Your Reddit and my Reddit are worse than what she receives on TikTok, in my opinion. Listen, there's valid things to hate me for. There's valid things to in your past to hate you for. She's doing all of it actively. Like, she hasn't made it right. And she continues to deflect and hurt people and take advantage of the fact and twist the fact that these people aren't online and people don't know about them. Well, guess what, motherfucker? I'm here. I'm boots on the ground. I'm interviewing these people, and it kills me. So I think she's definitely using it as a deflection, and she's also allegedly fake unaliving attempt multiple times.
God, I'm so on your side, and I'm so like
it's a girl.
I'm embarrassed to even feel the way I feel right now.
It ain't my side. It's the side of the truth.
Yeah, totally. Like, that's the First Amendment. People should be able to be in Discord groups and like say whatever they want to say. But it's like,
well, yeah, not when it's lies, though.
Well, I think even people should be able to believe lies if they want. But it's just, I'm like a rare example where like I've been on the internet for like 10 years. Like I was one of the first influencers. I've had this Reddit every single day of my adult life. They've
made floor plans of my apartment. They've
creepy.
gotten census records. They've
thank God you
gotten
moved, right?
addresses. Thank God I've moved.
But
being 33, I think I can never have kids. I can never get married. I can't even have friends because I poison them by bringing my Reddit into their lives. I'm a burden to like everyone I know. I can't even have a house. When I finally did have money to think about moving, I chose to stay in the same building because there are not a lot of options in Sarasota where there's a doorman.
Correct.
And I was like, I actually like, I'm too scared of.
And the location's amazing.
And the location's amazing.
It's so great.
And it's hurricane proof, as we learned.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't even own a house. I can't have kids. Yeah.
But see, but that's,
anyways,
that's thinking of the future, though. You're thinking of the future. You have that empathy for yourself, for other people, and she doesn't.
And
wait,
two,
can we do a nail moment?
you don't have to support my actions to know what's right or wrong. And then also, I did wrong in my marriage, but that didn't also mean that I deserved abuse. I think that there are so many things.
So one thing that
like,
one thing that she still is like so adamant about is the narrative that Andrew, her ex-husband, abused her. But it's also like, and I never want to, because I am a survivor of domestic violence as well. And so I never want to try to diminish that or someone's story, because I had people who didn't believe me. Of course, I mean, most of us who are in that situation, I've been through that. But like, that is one thing that she does not waver on. And I think that is one lie that she absolutely believes. I personally am not of the belief that that happened. She wasn't at home a lot. She was out scamming or didn't live with them and was dating someone else and living in their house. And then also it's like, okay, so if your ex-husband is an abuser and a monster, why are your 2 biological children still with him?
Such a good point. Such a good point.
Like, why are you not fighting every single day and getting off the internet to get a normal 9-to-5 job, to do exactly what you need to do off that checklist from the judge to get to be able to see them? That doesn't make sense.
That's a really good point, because it really
that's why most women stay with their abusers, is because of kids.
Yeah, and it's clear-cut evidence that she's either a bad mom because she's a bad person and doesn't care about the kids, or the abuse didn't happen. And I think that's pretty clear-cut evidence.
That's why she used to tell people that they were not her biological children. She would say that he had an affair and that she like adopted and raised the girls. I realized that like a month ago, and I was like, oh my God. It's because one lie covers up the doubt that would happen from another lie. It's so very layered and insane.
It's not like this black or white of like Liz is right or Andrew's right or Liz deserves this because she did this. Like, I think that somebody is not like understanding that these things are not okay just because I did wrong.
I see people asking, I was one of Andrew's mods for a while, and I participated in the Discord and in other private chats that, how do I say this nicely, even though we weren't nice? We did a lot of things that were not shared on the internet that were harmful. I did a lot of really nasty things. I don't need to get into them right this moment. Liz knows what they are, and there were a lot of people involved.
I think that for something, I saw someone said, so people can't talk about you. I think that you guys don't understand. I don't have an issue with Andrew telling his stories. Like, I really don't. I've said that to her. I've said this to my people that like support me. I mean, there are so many things that I have said at the beginning where I was so angry with him because I knew what happened in our marriage. And now even to come to find out that people that were supporting Andrew or even are supporting Andrew still got to hear firsthand of things that he did do to me behind closed doors. Unfortunately, like, we didn't get that. Like, I don't think anyone understands how much anger I felt that he was coming here and not also addressing the terrible things that he had done. And also not coming to the realization that like he only started this because I ended the marriage and that was on me. But that doesn't make, none of this makes anything okay that I did. And I want to clarify that. But I also want to bring light on that, first of all, the things that are done behind closed doors, as in like hacking my emails, getting into my email account, like illegally, number one, that's a huge deal. That's a huge problem to be in my email, sending out my emails. I mean, that's like a big deal. you won't talk about what you did to all those people. I think that I have said multiple times what I've done is wrong, but I can't get on there and say that. Are you going to talk about trying to steal that girl's purse? I never stole that girl's purse.
Even in both sides of the story, both parties said that the purse was given to you.
Correct. And we've all seen the text, give their money back. Oh, those people. I am paying restitution.
Is she? I need, what's she paying?
Exactly. So she has said a few times in this too, that like any money she makes online, like through TikTok or whatever, in views is gonna like go towards, I guess, restitution.
I would like to clarify that the email stuff was done before Rachel and Jordan, I don't want to say was on Andrew's side, but that's what it kind of comes down to at that point. They were not aware of anything. They obviously learned about it and they did laugh about it. And I think I would react the same way if I wasn't involved in that in some way.
And although they didn't steal or they didn't hack into the emails, when it was brought to the attention of an attorney that the emails were being hacked into and illegal stuff was being sent out, she's, oh my God, you're amazing. That's awesome. That's not okay. That's something that's illegal that she's encouraging.
Did I hack into the emails? No. Did I witness the person hack into the emails? Yes. Did I watch them do things in the emails? Yes. Did I use a gift card out of an email? Yes.
What?
Did I tell Liz every little thing about this?
Girl,
yes.
It is.
Sarah stole a gift card from the purse. We know, or from the.
It's so weird. So I guess they had somehow hacked into Liz's emails, and this girl like took like a gift card code or something from it and used it. So like that's what I'm saying. Like they lost the plot.
That's stealing.
That's
crazy.
theft. Yeah. And then also like hacking someone's emails, not okay. And when I say hacking, I don't mean like someone who was given the passwords by Liz and then downloaded a bunch and forwarded them. That's not what I mean, because that is not illegal. But with this, they like guessed her passwords and shit. So yeah, so it's like, it's so lost the plot. It's like, what is the point? Also, it's like, again, what is the point? Like and I said this on TikTok live too, like you're not getting any of this information and then like handing it over to investigators. And I understand like some people might say that about me, but like I am all the new information, all the contact information I get and like facts and shit, I have given it to the FBI agent that I've been in contact with and like sent all of that to him. Love him. Sup, John. And so like there's that, but also like the court of public opinion means a lot too. So like they can deal with the actual investigation in courts and I'll deal with the court. Me and Sherilyn will deal with the court of public opinion, and same with her ex-husband too. But it's like, what's the point? Like, how does this further your mission? It doesn't. It's like y'all are being weird.
Yeah.
From the email, we know that's one of the first things she told me. She was literally like, hey, I'm going to tell you all the stuff that they did. I'm going to tell you what I did. Part of it was got a gift card from the email and I spent it. And I was like, girl.
My role in this, I saw somebody say that what was my role is that I participated in a lot of bullying behind the scenes. And I was never going to say anything about it after there was a fallout between me and the Discord until I had been feeling guilty and really gross about it. And Liz messaged me and apologized for the bullying that she had done to me, which really was only her saying my name a few times. And so I came clean because that's what I need to do. And I didn't do it for clout. I honestly wanted to delete every one of my accounts. And I thought running would make it worse.
It's crazy because for many reasons, but like I even said in a live where I was literally in this one where it was like, girl, you could just not be on the internet for 2 weeks and everyone will forget. Oh, like this girl's not an influencer. She's nobody to the situation. Like it's irrelevant.
Yeah. And
like, yes, of course, that's nice that she admitted things to Liz. Awesome. Great. But this is so weird. And people even in these comments are, first of all, what a snitch. I cannot. This person is always in my live stream. She's so funny. But like she already admitted to it. I just know this was a forced conversation. You know, Andrew ended the marriage because you were running around being a hoe and didn't give a damn about the children. That's true too. But it's like, this is so weird. But again, it's someone not defending her, but making her look better. So that's why she's doing it, I think.
Oh, totally. And
Yeah.
it's just, I feel so bad for this girl where she's taking such true
Like
accountability.
she feels like she needs, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I think the harm she caused was very like private. I think accountability should always be like
Should match the action.
proportionate to the harm. And it's just like the level of this public accountability is like a punishment that's like, oh, vastly disproportionate.
I like that you said punishment, because she says something a little bit later that's like, like it's so weird.
I still think that she has done horrible things, but I have also done horrible things to her. But to clarify, somebody saying I'm stealing money, I was in a Discord with people that I thought were my friends. They did things for me, and I did things for them. If they think I stole money, they can come to me. I am unaware of anything stealing-wise that I did, because people sent things if I made comments that I wanted things.
At this point then, pretty please have them show the other text messages. I have asked many times for all of these other people to show their side of the text.
What's she talking about?
If what Sierra sent me is not true.
So she's talking about, because people are like, well, what you said in the last video where I was just like, we're done with her, where she like showed screenshots of texts and conversations, but it's like, well, no, that's misleading, because she's trying to say and like bring it back to and blame it on Rachel, the defense attorney. So with that, it's like, this was the part where I'm like, bitch, how are they supposed to prove that? Because she's like, oh, well then show your version of the text. Because Liz has been known to doctor text messages, to like delete certain things and like change the narrative and forge IRS documents, medical records, like bank statements. Like, so she's not a reliable narrator. But then it's like, okay, well, hey, if the other person isn't going to show it, but she's like, okay, well, show, like, prove, she's like, prove it to me that this didn't happen. And it's like, okay, but if it didn't happen, how do I prove to you that it didn't happen? I can't prove something that didn't happen.
Totally.
Because it didn't happen. Basically, her thing where like Rachel was like laughing at something that happened, or that she's saying that like she was encouraging them to do things, which I don't necessarily think that that's true. Or just like her being in a group chat, or I don't think she was in the Discord, but they had a group chat too. Being in there was like her being guilty. And it's like, I don't think that's true either. Like, you're not accountable for other people's actions. But she's saying that because Rachel is a criminal defense attorney, that she like has kind of like a fiduciary duty to like everybody to always be super ethical. And it's like, well, no, that's her personal life. Like, she's allowed to talk
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah. But, she's like twisting it. So she's twisting these non-receipts is what she's doing. And now she's like, well, prove it didn't happen. And this is when I commented, and I was like, from my podcast TikTok account, because she has to be blocked on my main one, where I was like, how do you prove something that didn't happen? But a lot of people were saying that too. The comments are not going in her favor. And it's really, like, that aspect's really interesting, because that's never happened before.
Watching this makes me feel so many things. I'm like shocked just at this story. And I'm also horrified just on like a uniquely personal and personalized note, where I'm like, this is exactly who people think I am. Like this lady right here. I'm like a less hot Elizabeth Teckenbrock, or whatever his name is. I'm Walmart Elizabeth Teckenbrock.
Her last name is Teckenbrock.
Whatever.
But I call her Elizabeth Chicken Broth.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
but that's delicious.
Or Fraggle Rock.
But chicken broth is delicious.
There's so many like names of people. What did you say? Steckenbach?
I don't know.
That's way better.
I don't know. It's just a lot of consonants.
It sounds like she's
very-
like Greek, Steckenbach or something, right? Like either Greek or Jewish somehow.
Yeah, that's not Greek.
No, I know it's not. It's not a real last name. Not you creating a
I think it's
a family lineage.
I think it's Dutch, I'm gonna say.
Ooh, yeah, no, yeah. They be going to IKEA.
Yeah.
Which that's Swedish, but anyways.
If what you guys like, if
Me
you
too.
think what they are saying is not true, I did show them. If you go to my video, I showed the text.
I have told you many times that I don't have any right to ask you for anything.
This poor
but
girl.
that coming clean is something that I felt that I needed to do. It was not because I thought I was going to get in trouble, because I've sent you things that I could get in trouble for. I was not the one that logged into the emails. The person that did screen shared and sent things, and when she sent a screenshot of the gift card, or it was on FaceTime, I honestly have blocked all of this out. I checked the balance on it because it was hee hee ha ha funny with me and my friends, and I used it.
That's fucked up.
And not only that, the other things that I plan on posting that are honestly far worse than even this. It's honestly like,
You look like
So
emoji
bad.
faces.
The
It's
way that she's punishing girl.
Thank you. Yes, it's the public like humiliation of
ritual of it all.
Yes. Yeah. It's very unfortunate. And people have theorized like maybe she's saying all this stuff because Liz has been like, you just admitted so many illegal things to me. Like I could press charges against you, but I'm not going to do that if you go on live or like whatever. And because like, you know, court of public opinion means more to Liz than like the actual courts. That's why I will not shut the fuck up. On screen, it even says it's genuinely horrific. And it's like, no, girl, what's genuinely horrific is one, what you've done to people. And two, how cringy this is. Like, this is insane. And people in the live chat too were reiterating that. They were like, those same sentiments. They're like, this should have been behind closed doors. Like, this is so weird. Like, girl, just log off. You're not an influencer. You've got no skin in the game. Like, and I hate telling women to go focus on their family and their kids and their life, but it's like, babe, go do that. Because like when you are caught up in something as like a mom as well, I feel like that's what like centers you, you know, and you're like, okay, this means more. This human, this Matisse kitty, this means more. Like, this is my real life,
And
you
like,
know?
that was my leg, bitch.
Yeah.
Call back. But
Comedy.
no, not to have like almost like maladaptive empathy towards everyone in this car crash of a godforsaken live stream. Pickles, I kind of see where she's coming from, because it's like, you know, as someone who's famously struggled with living a balanced life, who is just preternaturally drawn to like either end of the spectrum, just like either pole of extremes, whatever it may be. Like, I see how for Pickles, having lost the plot, having spent that gift card, having been in this Discord, it's very hard once you've like lost balance to then self-correct by returning to balance. It's
the pendulum.
It's much easier when you're trying to self-correct to accidentally overcorrect.
Yes.
Especially if you're someone who's drawn to those states of extremity.
Yeah.
And so like I see how like having gone from that, she's now running in the opposite direction, and who I might do the same, you know, when you're like that disoriented.
And when you're on like the fringes too, like keep in mind, and I've said this many times, like she's not the podcast producer. She's not the person investigating. Like, she truly lost the plot.
I know.
And it is very sad. And I've said multiple times, and to her, and even in like live streams and stuff, and she's come into mine as well. And I've been super nice to her and trying to be understanding, because I do think she was being manipulated by Liz.
Justice for Pickles.
Justice for Pickles, honestly. And I know there are some people, like one of the other moderators in that group, I don't want to say like the head of it, but the one that when you had the jump scare of her saying Chelsea, so that girl, her Chella is her nickname, and I was like, oh my god, wait, I could have gone by the cool nickname Chella. Like,
I was not aware. I didn't know that was a nickname. Yeah, I was not aware.
I've been called Cha-Cha. I've been called Cece. I've been called Chels Mundo by my dad. What in the SpongeBob? No, it's not great. Not good branding. Chella? That is so cool.
It's also like so mid 2010s coded. Like, it's
give
like
me my
Coachella
butterfly
and Hella in one. It's so 2014. King Kylie era. I love it. By the way, you guys, these very skilled moderators, if you're out there listening to this, if you can make my Reddit less so it's awful, please do so. You guys seem really knowledgeable.
Girl, they can't help you with that unless they're a moderator of that subreddit. It's not how that works.
It's been going on 12 years.
I know.
And I worry I'm going to burn out. Like, I just feel like other influencers, even like, you know, Brianna Chicken Fry, she has a really bad one.
Yeah.
But she's only been dealing with it for about, at most, you could say 3 years. Yeah, I was gonna be generous and say 3, but like I
know I'd say like 2.
2.
Because it was around, but it wasn't as bad.
Yeah. And so it's just like, I honestly would
has had a lot of takes though, and I don't want to say that it's not like,
but she's not, it's like me, it's like she's not in prison. Does she deserve, okay, anyways,
no, I agree with that.
The point I'm saying is that like in a different video, I'm hard pressed to find another influencer who's been dealing with the level of scrutiny that I'm under, proportionate to the Z-list fame I have, really, and the scope of things, and has been going on for so long.
I agree.
And it really...
I
digress.
My like hate and stuff like that, so it was on like other subreddits of like friends of mine and not on my own, and then finally one of them made
you have famous enough. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy.
Yeah. So it's, and it's not like, oh, I go and look at it, but people will like send it to you. And some of it is, you know, just people in passing and whatever, and just saying dumb shit. But then there's people who will like cross the line of like making a fake driver's license, or like, you know.
My Reddit once convinced me that my ex had terminal leukemia.
Cool.
Like they forged medical records.
Oh, yikes. That's not good.
I know.
Yeah.
And because I'm so easily scammed, I believed them.
Of course you did.
Yeah. It was, honestly, I'm like, once again, I'm like, at what point do I need to accept blame for that? Like, that was just so dumb. But it was like online, this was back in like 16 or 17. So just like the baseline of online literacy was like a little bit.
Yes.
Like.
Yeah. No, I definitely understand that. Yeah.
Anyways, justice for Pickles. Pickles, you don't deserve this. This is so disproportionate. And
yes, thank you for that. I completely agree with that. And keep in mind, guys, I'm one of Liz's biggest fucking critics. And I like to think that I'm very logical when it comes to like a billion things are true at once. Like just because this happened doesn't mean that this didn't happen or like cancels it out. No. Both things are true. And I have said a billion times too, like from being a creator and being someone who deals with, you know, the Reddit snark and the people calling my husband's employer and spreading false information and literally just lies about me, to the point where they have submitted multiple anonymous complaints to my husband's employer. When I tell you, I almost drove to that person's house. I did not, obviously, because that's unhinged, because I would stop myself and be like, well, I wouldn't want someone that I made a video about to do that. But also it's like, that's not the same thing. It's tough, but also it's these things where you have to understand like, okay, legally, can I take action? And it's like, well, yes, if you have enough.
Genuinely horrific. There's two separate things. Sending out somebody's like, taking pictures off somebody's like, subscribing to a profile online, paying a fee to then send out their like body without clothes on. I don't know how I can say it on here without giving it my brand. And then
so my Reddit used to have like a tag, like, you know how you can tag posts,
the flare,
or I don't even know what it's called, but one tag was for my OnlyFans.
That's fucked up.
Reposting.
That's so fucked up. That's copyright infringement.
It made me feel so icky and dirty, and the year was like 2020.
Wait, you can okay, so that actually is copyright infringement. You can have all those taken down because of that.
Listen, the mods like 9 months later purged it, but they were like actively encouraging the community to repost them. And you know how you were saying how like people call work? When my dad died, they were convinced that I was, because I'm an unreliable narrator.
They thought you were lying about your dad's death.
They thought he was still alive. Ooh. So they started calling this number. And my schizophrenic uncle, he finally had gotten a job. He dropped out of Yale. He's a brilliant guy, but he was like just finally had a job at Home Depot. And they caused him to have like a massive schizophrenic break. And it caused a huge rupture because, like, of course, like my relatives sort of felt like I had caused this.
Like, yeah, like and it was your fault, even though it's not.
There was no amount that I could, I felt like I could not find the right words to explain to them that I have like truly that Reddit is like as toxic to me. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they were just convinced that I was lying and was like telling me, like sending me DMs, like, I just spoke to your father, when like he was like still in like my recent texts. And I felt like I was going to lose my job from Home Depot. Like I felt like I was going crazy as well, but like, yeah, no, calling employers is that's a question
so scary.
I come back to. This is what plagues me at night. I really support the First Amendment.
Of course, as we should.
Like free speech is what will get us through this tyranny.
Yes.
And so on a scale of like the social good, I really believe in it. On the scale of like just my life, sometimes I feel like it's killing me.
And that's what I go back and forth from too, because like Liz had her subreddit taken down, but through false copyright strikes. And absolutely, you can get it taken down for that, or like through abusing like reporting systems. And I know that I can get mine and yours taken down within like 2 minutes by doing that. But it's like, I'm such a advocate for free speech because I would not have a job without it. And it like, no one's going to shut me up. And also, if you have an opinion in me, okay, great, go for it. I might have an opinion of you if I even knew you, that's okay. But it's also like, there is the line, and some of these people are so past the line, they look back at the line and it's a little dot to them, right? I always say now, like I have a love-hate relationship with Reddit. I fucking love Reddit. I will laugh for hours on there. And then it's also like, okay, but then it sucks so much because it's like people are on there and just spreading hate. I think what can help is if
I don't have answers.
Well, I was just thinking like, well, maybe if the moderators of these certain Reddit threads had like a clear line of communication to the people these threads are about, and they could like somehow verify or like prove certain things that are being said. And then that way, like, okay, well, this is clearly a lie. It's not just an opinion. Then go from there. But it's like those people, like the moderator or the creator of my Reddit thread hates me. Like that will not happen. I could literally take a picture of me voting for a Democrat, which is illegal. You cannot take a picture in a voting booth. I have looked it up. So yeah, that was like my thing is like, if they can have like a clear line of communication and be like super, like confirm things. And obviously it's again, it's like, how do you prove certain things? That's why I like one of the, or actually a few of like the subreddits that sometimes do. They know that there are certain people that will post about me constantly, and that's literally their only comment history is about me. And so they'll ask like, hey, is this true? And I'm like, no, I don't know how I can show it to you, but it's not. So it's I don't want to censor anyone, obviously, but it's like when it's a blatant lie, like you shouldn't be able to do that. And I don't know if that's just like the autism where it's like justice sensitivity, but I don't know. It sucks. But obviously with like Liz, that's not what's happening.
Yeah.
It's
yes.
like she's lying.
And sometimes I feel like maybe this is just this kind of casualty is like the price we pay for having pages that do this for Liz and having the active communities that take community action for saving democracy, you know, like,
yeah.
And I don't know. I go back and forth on it. Honestly, I go through seasons of life where I'm like deeply, deeply affected by it and feel like I'm like struggling to breathe and like suffocate. I actually went through a period this summer. It's why I took 7 months off from posting, but I'm totally out of it now. But I was just like, was so fucking down about like the unsolvable quality of this part of my life. I would need to go against all my basic values and what I want for the world at large just to like help me personally. And that's just such an awful pickle to find yourself in.
Oh my God. Yeah, that is beautiful.
That's
so
a good transition.
It was. No, and I completely agree. And I know there might be some people who are like, oh, they're making it all about themselves. But I think having that insight from someone you've been on the internet way longer than I have. You were an icon before I even got on YouTube. So I think it's important to see like reformed, like owns the, you know, the scammer title and turn it into a career. And then also someone who, you know, has recently gotten like a lot of hate. And I don't want to say it's unwarranted, whatever. If you don't like me, that's fine. But things being misquoted, things like that. And basically seeing like the real life version of what Liz is claiming is happening to her is like what I'm trying to get at here. So it is really, really interesting. And I hate it, obviously, because it's not true.
Mocking it and making fun of it and whatever else, like what does that have to do with what I've done?
And I agree with
I don't know
there,
how
like
it's that I'm too old for this, but it's not the full-blown attorney that is doing illegal activities to someone.
What's illegal?
It's not illegal, but she'll pull Rachel back into it because Rachel is someone who is public facing, but all these other people aren't. So it's like that because so then people care about that drama. So I think that's why she pulls her back in. And it's someone that she has had a relationship with before too. And meanwhile, like I'm not on TikTok much. Like I just regurgitate content. Sometimes I post different stuff, but I'll go live because that's what she's doing. Because that's, you know, if I'm covering someone and they're mainly on TikTok, I'll do that. So the algorithm pushes it out and we can spread more awareness, whatever. But she goes after Rachel because of that history, because she does have a TikTok following as well, you know, because of all that. So people will attach to it, care about the drama with that, but not her actual victim.
Yeah. People sometimes said that I was like, when I was telling my side of the story, that this ex-friend from my past who has like at most 2,000 followers, that I was like doing this for clout. And I was like, listen, you can say I'm doing this because I'm petty and you'd be right, or because I'm angry and you'd be even more right. But for clout, no, like, you got us mixed up, bitch.
Yeah,
Like,
that's silly.
I'm not saying her name because she's threatening me. And I did steal a gift card, that is it. And I told Liz and she cleared it up and said it was okay. She doesn't care.
I said this is such a smaller part to the things that are going on, like a gift card to Victoria's Secret. Why do I give a fuck about that right now? While my body parts are being shared all over when they shouldn't be, or people are saying in messages that I deserve to be hurt and raped and stuff. Like that stuff not okay. And by people, I mean Andrew.
So one thing I will say is whenever people are like, I'm, receiving all of this hate from, like, if you're going to make specific claims towards one person, or even people being like, I'm receiving death threats, I don't want to be like, oh, well, actually, I do want to be like, show it, screenshot it. We need to see who's doing that. Let's share it. Shame those people. That's awful. That's horrible. People will say like, oh, I get death threats. And it's like, no, you don't. No, you do not. Show them. And someone saying like, you should cease to exist, or you should go away, or blah, blah, blah. That's not a death threat. That's not someone threatening they're going to kill you. Obviously, that's horrible if that does happen, or any type of messages like that suck. I get it. And I'm not invalidating that. But let's not say that something is something else just to exaggerate and play yourself as a victim. That's all it is.
Back in 2020, when OnlyFans was still very new, and my Reddit had created this like layer, whatever, the hashtag to like incentivize people to repost my nudes. I remember this one guy reposted my nudes to his story, which is obviously very wrong, but like his public Instagram story, totally wrong. But I went off on this guy and I ended up taking it down because he took them right down and sent me this really nice message, like apologizing. And I also just realized, like reading his message, that like I was taking a lot of pent up feeling and putting it, should be rightly angry about that guy.
Yeah.
But it's like I had no one else to like express how I was feeling about like how the Reddit was treating my nudes, because that was culturally still acceptable then. Or just people didn't really think it was that big of a deal is the thing. It's not that it was acceptable. It just wasn't that big of a deal. And so when I see people talking about death threats, that dumb, very, very scammable, prone to icy blue eyes, empathetic part of me is like,
and also people who have been harassed ourselves.
Yeah, it's like they're probably receiving all these other messages
that are overwhelming and horrible.
That are overwhelming and horrible, and people see us just not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
And so then they're prone to picking out this one message because they have all these pent up feelings that they don't have a healthy outlet to express. And so whenever I see people doing that, I don't blame the player, I blame the game. I don't blame them. I blame this culture that doesn't take those other problems more seriously, that makes them feel like those things that do bother them aren't that big of a deal. And so they don't express that more accurately.
So that was beautiful, eloquent, love it, iconic, very apt assessment. Bus, club, another bus, love it. I do want to remind you.
You're like, she belongs in jail.
Prison.
Or
a padded room.
Prison.
But no, I completely agree with that. And posting any type of content, whether nude or not, that was behind a paywall, you cannot do that.
No,
like
that's know that
theft.
now, but like these standards change. People sort of in the early days of OnlyFans were like, these girls are asking for it. They're putting those photos out there.
You posted it behind a paywall, motherfucker. Yeah. So
I'm glad things are changing, and I hope they change. No,
absolutely, yes. And even to a private group, those other people didn't pay for that.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
That's
still,
disgusting.
That feels so violating. Like, even someone sharing it with their friend who, like, it's like, this is the price that, like, accessing those topless photos of me, I've decided has cost. And, like, you not paying that makes me feel, by extension, worthless.
Yeah. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Agreed. I'm locked in. Keep playing this. What's going to happen next?
Too much.
On top of that, it's small. It's her damn license, and her license should be revoked. If this is what she's doing as an attorney, I'm sorry, she shouldn't have a license.
I would like to say that in the past week or so, I have seen all of the accounts that are being made about me, and I think that kind of furthers my thoughts on why I came to you and talked to you about this after you reached out, because it's really detrimental to my mental health to see these people saying things. Were people in Discord that I barely talk to that are putting me on at like their Kanye.
Okay, so I love when it's a screen recording from me where you can see exactly what I'm typing, and it's like, girl, type faster, what are you doing? But it's, again, like how I said on there, do you have proof of Andrew saying all that? And it's not like me and yes, it is me challenging her, but it's more so like, show it, don't just fucking say it. If you have it, then yes. If not, then say allegedly. Like, don't state it as a fact when you do not have the proof to back it up. And that's why, like, sometimes I'll be ridiculous with saying allegedly or in my opinion or whatever, or as it has been presented to me and blah, blah, blah. Because sometimes I don't have, like, sometimes it is anecdotal evidence, or I'll even just say that, like, no, this, again, has been alleged to me, that is anecdotal, whatever. But she doesn't do that. She states it as a fact without proof and all that. But then also, again, like this girl saying, accounts have been made about me and blah, blah. And that's why I was like, why the would accounts be made about you? Like, people didn't know your face. You were a faceless account. Like, what are you talking about? And that's why I'm asking right now. And then she's like, there have been blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, well, I'm sorry if that's happening. But then another person, their name was like Cucumber something. And they were like, my account's not about you. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, oh, I'm sorry. And it's like, okay, it just does not make sense of like, I'm not trying to be like, you're nobody, but like, you're not a public figure. You're not an influencer. Like, people might know her last name, but like, people don't know your last name. Put your phone down, get off the internet, delete the account, leave, come back a month later. You're fine. Like, you know, it's infuriating.
Their Kanye betrayal list, and I'm getting a lot of nasty comments and things, and people trying to post where I live in comments, and I contributed to doing that to you, and it's nasty.
I feel like we should pin a comment.
Hi, Cece. People are making accounts about me. I'm literally looking at the ones. There's one that's literally called, Cucumber Slice. That's in the live right now.
So that one had been literally in my live streams previously before any of this even happened. So it's like, girl, it's not about you. It's just another green veggie. Calm down.
I know, but like, don't you feel like that sort of statement, is that because she's doing all this snarking?
Mm-hmm.
And as someone who's producing all
Yep.
these little like jibs and jabs at someone and all these like nicknames and ways to troll them, as someone who's producing that about other people, it conditions her mind to see the world looking for those same products from others.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah.
I also don't think you guys understand, like, Rachel is a criminal defense lawyer, and you don't understand how many days and times that her clients are getting canceled on while she's online drunk or manic or on things doing literal like TikTok drama about me, ruining her own career, people's lives about me while she's online doing TikTok drama. I don't think you guys can grasp that. And like,
every time she goes like this, I really want her to say, I don't think it's clocking to you.
I don't think it's clocking to
you.
Wait, what's the full quote? I don't think it's clocking to you. Then there's an insult.
I don't think it's clocking to you, losers.
Yes.
Oh, and then when Haley came back on and was like, I don't think it's clocking to you when he released his album. So good. So yeah, same of I had the same, I literally read your mind of you going, that's defamation. Of like, she's canceling and blah, 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 and her clients. And it's like, you don't know that.
She's manic. And
you don't know her
clients are losing money and losing out. Like,
you don't know her schedule. You don't know those billable hours. Like, you don't know that information. And just because someone says like, oh, I have a meeting at this time. I even said that on live earlier. And I was like, all right, I have a meeting at 11 and like, I have to get off at 10 so I can do this other thing first and the blah, blah. But it's like, if you have to reschedule something, you can. It doesn't make any, it's just wild that she would say that. But again, she's going after Rachel when Rachel was literally just included in the text. And yes, Rachel might have said some things back and forth that were like getting her anger out, but it's also just like Rachel didn't do the illegal thing. She witnessed it. Sure. But that's also her private life.
That's not a crime. Witnessing a crime makes you a witness, not the criminal.
Exactly. And Rachel isn't the one doing it, and she's not representing anyone who it was against, and she's also not representing the person who's doing it. So like, oh well, like I witness crimes all the time. So does my husband. So does Rachel. Like, you walking down the street can witness a crime. Or
I never leave my house, so that's not a problem.
I mean, neither do I. But it's like running a red light. Like, those are all crimes, right, bitch? Yeah. Like, so that's what I mean when I say that. But it's insane. I mean, defamation is a crime, and this is defamation.
It's down there.
Thanks. I keep losing it.
Yeah.
Yesterday, she literally said, or the day before, the screen recording I got is that she's canceling meetings. She's going to cancel a meeting she has to continue TikTok drama on a live.
If your account isn't about me, I'm sorry.
Rachel's calling jobs that I get or apartments that I live in. She's calling the management company to try to get me kicked out.
I think your name is Tara. It's like a tree with an era. There was not really a final straw that made me come clean. It was 100% had to do with the fact that Liz apologized to me, and I sat back and was like, wow.
So there's one thing too that she said. She was like, whenever I try to get a new apartment, like I move in and then people call the management company or the landlord and like tell them about my past. Or she said, like, when I get a new job, then, they'll call and they'll like tell them about like my past, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, that is fucked up. But also, is what they're saying true? Did you lie or did you not tell them that you had 8 evictions previously for failure to pay rent? Or with the job, did you tell them that you had a bachelor's degree in whatever, or two master's degrees, or that you were a doctor? Or like, did you lie on your resume and like your qualifications to get that job? Then that's the consequences of your own actions. And that's what she's leaving out, because I've seen her resume. I have a copy of it, of like I guess really more of a cover sheet or whatever. But like, there were so many fucking lies on that. Like almost none of it was true with what she was applying to jobs for. And it's insane. I mean, no wonder she didn't get any jobs, because it's like you did not go to Purdue. You were not an eye doctor. You did not own eye clinics. Like all of that's false. And you put that on your resume to apply for director level positions when she's literally had like 2 9-to-5 jobs before.
Did she attend Purdue or just fully?
No. She has not, to my knowledge, has hardly any credits from college. She completed maybe a few classes from like a junior college or a community college, which, hey girl, same, me too. I did 2 stints in college, one community college and then one St. Leo. I love St. Leo, but like that was a great experience there doing that online. It was very great. But then like stopped with both of them because I was like, I need to work more. Like I need to make more money and whatever. And then doing this, I'm like, I don't need a college degree. Why am I going to waste money on that? Which is not a waste, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I don't care. But like you're lying about it. So it's like, are you mad that your lies got told on, or are you mad that you lied? Like,
yeah, I am, a little known fact about me that I have never said anywhere and will exclusively release in this video.
So excited.
Yeah. When I first moved to Florida back from New York, my grandma was in a hospice. So my first job when I moved back was being one of our hospice nurses.
Yeah.
And I'm not posting at all during this time. And then once my grandma died, I not only didn't have a job, but I was like grief stricken. And I just didn't feel like posting. And of course, the loss of her hit me all the harder, having lost my father so recently.
Yeah.
And she was like another parent to me. Or even like the other half of my father figure growing up. So I got a job. People don't know this about me, but I worked in I'm just gonna say gallery. I worked in a gallery in Sarasota, normal 9 to 5 for the summer after her death, because like as we've established, I'm not the heir to the Calloway golf fortune, Caroline Calloway. And yeah, I needed like money for groceries. Like I was still staying in my grandma's condo as like her estate was figured out. So luckily I didn't need rent, but I needed to pay back my landlords in New York. Like I was supposed to be paying rent back in a city where I wasn't even living. I needed food. And I got a job at this gallery and I studied art history for my undergrad. And there's not a single thing I told them that was a lie, but I didn't mention my past online. I told them my name. I didn't lie about who I was.
Yeah, I mean, you don't need to.
Yeah, I just walked in. Sarasota is known as being like really artsy where I live. In fact, it's the only city in Florida besides Tampa and Miami that has a symphony, a ballet, and an opera. It makes me very proud. But they're just a bunch of art adjacent businesses. And I just walked into a bunch, got turned down a bunch. They just weren't hiring, and finally found one and just talked to the owner and happened to know a lot about some of the antiques they had and was able to impress him or her. Won't even give out pronouns for that. But yeah, I can see not bringing up your online life. And especially because I knew I wouldn't even be posting it in the gallery space. I knew that as long as I worked there, that like my online life would not be relevant in any way to my job.
Yeah, but you're not lying about your.
But I would never lie
history.
about my employment history or my name or like where I went to school or what degrees I have.
What you were omitting isn't applicable to the actual job and in employment in general.
What
she's lying about is like with getting approved for an apartment is not only your income, which you need to prove, but then also your history of evictions, which is very important when getting a new apartment. And then also with jobs, your literal education and employment history. That's obviously what they look at. So like her entire resume is almost entire resume is a lie. It's actually, the entire one is a lie.
How does she come back from this? Like, how do you make a life right when you're living like this?
Again, admitting everything, being honest about everything, paying everyone back, and then getting off the internet. I think she has to get off the internet and attempt to focus on being a good friend, daughter, and mother. But then also it's like, is she actually capable of doing that? Then if not, then prison and padded room.
Do you think?
I mean, prison no matter what.
Do you think she needs to be off the internet permanently or just for a little while? Like, for example, whenever I've gone through like a hard period in my life, like this past summer, really feeling bad about the Reddit and just going through a period of depression or my grandma's death, that summer, just any time when I've needed like a reset, I've gone off the internet, and they've been great seasons for growing. Don't you feel like you and I have this job? I think sometimes people look at like, have you seen Young Gravy and Arya Kitsia?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And people say, oh, it's PR. Their like relationship is fake. I couldn't disagree more. I think those are two fundamentally performative people. And I just think that they are both working jobs and like living out a relationship that like honors that performative character.
Yeah.
And like you and I think have it too. I don't think it's inherently bad. Like I'm sure our jobs must seem like an absolute pathology to someone with a different personality who's more introverted. Like you can hold a gun to my head and make me live that way. It's like for me, it's like you can hold a gun to my head and make me like stop being performative. Like it would feel just as unnatural and suffocating for me to live like that. And
but that's not Liz though.
But don't you think she maybe is naturally performative? And so it's like, how can she? I do agree she needs to take a step away from the internet.
I think she's just naturally a liar. With her being online, like you're, promoting your work. I like online is my work. And so like, yes, that is my main source of income. And it's, how you can increase yours. But with her, she's not selling anything. She doesn't have anything to promote. It's not her job. Like, yes, her social media is monetized, but it's not like, that's not her main source of income. Her main source of income is sugar daddies or scamming men.
I look at her lives and think she is believing these lies that she's saying the same way I look at her lives and think this is a performative person. So I guess I just like wonder if there's any way forward that could have, you think she should be off the internet for the rest of her life?
I don't know. I go back and forth because I only think that you should be kicked off of a platform if you are violating like the terms and services of that platform, or if like that's the specific way that you're scamming people. But TikTok isn't the way that she's scamming people. It's the way that she is able to still garner support and like
How many followers does she have?
That is a great question. She has me blocked, so we'll never know.
I'll check.
300,000 or something like that.
300,000? You're joking.
I mean, something like that on TikTok. I think it might be even more now, but it's not supporters though. It's people who are on her TikTok to like keep up with the shit show is what I've learned.
Elizabeth Stenbach?
No, that's the fake name you made up for her.
Teckenbrock. She has almost 400,000 followers. 4K away from 400,000.
Yeah.
I have 60,000.
Yeah. I have like,
what am I doing wrong?
I have like 30 or 40.
Not lying about having cancer?
Exactly. Yeah. It's worked for her. But also, no, but girl, that's on TikTok. And she.
I'm talking about TikTok.
I know, but she's a shit
more
show.
Than this on Instagram.
Like, cringy people, crazy people will
I'm cringy. I can be cringy and crazy. I am.
I mean, not like that. That's a whole nother.
And like for 400K followers, I might be.
Yeah, but look at her engagement and her views. Like it's,
This is a crazy ratio.
Yeah.
This is like the ratio I get for 60K.
I know, it's insane. Like, yeah. Same. And I have like what, hardly 40 or 30 or something like that on there. Yeah. Since then, Liz has not posted.
By the way, recipe for not a Bellini.
A Bailini.
A Bailini. It's just mango juice and Prosecco.
Yeah. Yeah. So she hasn't posted again, which is great. Love that, because my work life is so much quieter when she doesn't post, but it's so much. It's a lot.
What do you think she's going to do next? Where are we in the cycle? Do you think this is going to be a long disappearance, or it's only been 5 days? It's not even like a real...
We've kind of like broken this cycle because like season 2's coming out at the end of this month, hopefully. And then Rachel filed a restraining order against her, and like now she has a lawyer,
an RO,
in the biz we call them an RO.
Yeah.
What's a row? I don't know. So I feel like we've kind of broken the cycle that she like historically would do, and now I don't know. Now she's a bit unpredictable, which I'm like, great, that spooks me a little bit. But she's continuing to scam, to my knowledge, and tell people false things. Obviously, I can't wait until everyone knows the information that I know, and like we release season 2, because it's like I have all this information and
I'm like, shut the fuck up, I want to know this information. Because sorry guys.
it's so hard, because it's like people are like, well, this and this, and I'm like, but you don't know, like, and people always bring it back to Andrew, and it's like, it's not her ex-husband, it's her. Like,
can you tell me
I will after. It's so hard. It's so tough, because it's like, y'all don't understand that she did the same thing to him, but to someone else before that, and then also at like during and afterwards. And the timeline is crazy of like lying to people, telling them you have cancer, and taking so much money from them, and like the other victims that have surfaced and that I'm thankfully going to be able to talk to this week that she took over, 6 figures from. It's scary. It's so crazy that she's been able to get away with this for so long.
Can we just circle back to when she's like, I'm paying restitution? Is there any kernel of truth in that?
So I think that her and her lawyer, she does have a lawyer, I think that they maybe came up with like a plan of action of like, this is what we could do. And some people have said like, oh, well, you can't sign a plea deal and like agree to that until like charges brought against you. And she hasn't yet because the investigation's still ongoing. And you can kind of do a pre-trial plea deal, but it's also like that can change afterwards and it just depends. So I think that she's counting on people not knowing about all of this and not believing other people and not knowing that like, no, you can't do a plea deal until like sign one until afterwards. Like, it's not your defense attorney that does like the terms of the plea deal. It's the prosecution. And then, you sign it and then you're bringing it to the judge and then the judge ultimately decides, okay. So it's just really interesting that she is saying all of that. And she's saying that she's going to pay restitution for like whatever money she makes, I guess, online, but she's not posting. So she's not making any money online. And then also she's saying that like whatever money she gets from telling her story, she doesn't know about the production industry and she doesn't know about like this side of that. She doesn't understand that typically production partners, streaming services, things like that are not going to pay the criminal.
Oh yeah, because that looks terrible.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You
I hadn't even thought of that.
You could possibly be paying the victims, but in this case, if you pay all of the victims, and it's not even like pay them what she's took from them, because that's also not fair. She needs to pay that. But no, I don't think that she's going to pay back everything. She needs to get a fucking job. And maybe that could be worked in where she like has to work like a W-2, like 9-to-5 job or something. And then her wages can be garnished and like get money back. But I also don't think that the amount that she will have to pay back is going to be even close to what she's actually taken from people, because I don't think that the courts know about every single thing she's taken from people.
I'll be the first to admit that when I was working my job at the gallery, we'll call it, I was also working through the grief of losing my grandma. So it's almost impossible to disentangle the sadness I felt over her death from the sadness that I felt that was like caused purely by the job. However, I do think I was very unhappy in that job just because I felt like I was floating farther and farther away from my purpose and in turn my sense of self. And so I guess I just wonder if there's like maybe a way where she can make restitution her brand. And I say that only because like I could see how not just a cynic, but just like an average person might hear that turn of phrase and might feel kind of disgusted by that commercialization of apology.
You've done it in a great way with Scammer.
You keep calling me a reformed scammer, and I honestly really love that, and I hesitate to like claim that only because I just feel like I became like a more transparent scammer. I was just like, yeah, I'm really messy, and it's just me, and it takes a really long time to ship everything.
Scam if it's
but it's also not a scam, and I'm still working through taking more ownership of that because, I have never committed a crime, and I don't think we spend enough time, myself included, focusing on that one very important detail. But I just would hate for her. I know how heavy the burden of like an invasive Reddit can be to someone who's not dealing with as much guilt as she has. Like someone who I would hope she feels guilty. I would hope she feels guilty.
She doesn't.
Because
she keeps
Are we
doing
sure
it.
though?
I'm pretty
Maybe
fucking
she's
positive.
just being driven to it because she feels like she has no other options, which is why I'm like, we got to brainstorm options in the comments because maybe she just needs a way out. But maybe again, she's giving her too much
been offered a way
credit.
out so many times because she's trying to, in my opinion, escape who she really is and what she actually came from. She doesn't want to be from a lower tax bracket. She wants to be this person who can pay for all these things and have all these friends and go to these galas, but then doesn't work towards that and doesn't work to get like the people who are at that level and, go to these things are people who have worked on their careers or just been able to work up that way. And she hasn't at all and has nothing to show for it. So then she'll scam people because she's like, oh, well, all I need is just the money to be able to do that. And it's like, no, you don't fit there. She'll do everything but work for it and not to be like Kim K and be like, nobody wants to work these days. But that's what she doesn't want to do.
One of the things that if you were to just ask me flat out, like what I value most about myself, intelligence would be high ranking. But you say things like that, and I feel so distinctly the feebleness of my own mind because I hear you say that. And all I can think are these dim-witted little thoughts like, sometimes I don't want to work, or like sometimes I want more than I have. And it's like, I know they're not the same. Like logically, I actually should know more. They're not the same things.
Yeah.
But I'm so easily,
Because it's what are you willing to do to get there?
But some days I'm willing to do nothing. Some days I'm willing to do nothing. But other days I do.
Not lie about cancer. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, I have never been willing to do that at all.
Exactly. Not say that your family members are dead when they're not.
I would so love to see the inner workings of her sugar baby dynamics. Are they still going on? How many sugar daddies does she have? Is she telling them medical lies? Like these are
because then it's not a sugar baby situation. Then you're
it's
conning them.
Yeah. Then it's scam again. Yeah. And
most of them, that's what it was. She's scamming them and lying and saying that she has cancer or that she wants to get her kids back and blah, blah. But none of the money goes towards that. The money goes towards trips and dinners and random shit that she blows money on. That's it.
Please in the comments, if you can think of a way forward for this lady without changing the past, how would you do it? I don't have answers. And I'm genuinely like, I feel like I'm going to be more curious about these comments than you. Not that you're not invested, but I am so deeply invested in like what a future for her would look like. Because
prison. But then after that, what do we do?
Is prison the only answer?
I think it is. Well, she has to go meet Wiggum because he's barking up a storm now because he wants to meet her. And yeah, we got to go. So I appreciate y'all being here. If you made it this far and you are subscribed, your butt looks so good. And I appreciate you so much.
Oh my God, hearing it in person? Are you guys kidding me? Oh my God.
If you are not new here, actually, if you're just not subscribed in general, I hope that you have the worst earwax crust. I hope you get a Q-tip fuzz stuck in your ear, and then every time you move, it just is worse and worse, and you hear that little crinkle, but you don't know what it is. Oh my God, is it something around me? Is there a bug in my ear? I don't know. Now you have to go to the doctor. Oh my God, now that's expensive because that's not covered by your insurance. What ear doctor is covered by your insurance? I don't know. The way that you can fix that is by subscribing, and then you won't have any weird things in your ear, and then your butt will look good too.
Science.
I don't make the rules. I'm not a scientist, but I heard that that's true, allegedly. Anyways, stay spicy, stay feral, stay anything else you want to be. I'm proud of you. I love you, and I'll see you in my next video. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
It's so good.
Will you sit down?
Okay. No,
Yeah.
It's just
No,
called
no.
margarita.
Here, let's, oh, you're fine. You're okay.